My name's Dr. Simon Lockrey. I'm a senior lecturer at RMIT University in the School of Design. And welcome to today, the Future of Automotive Collections and Archives in Australia, the 2021 Conference for the Automotive Historians Australia. Firstly, I just wanted to start with an acknowledgement of country. So the AHA acknowledges the people of the Wurrung and Burrung language groups of the Eastern Kulin Nations, on whose unceded lands we conduct the business of the organisation. AHA respectfully acknowledges their ancestors and elders, past and present. AHA also acknowledges the traditional custodians and their ancestors of the lands and waters across Australia where we conduct our business. And I'm sure all of you are in disparate places around Australia and probably on different lands than what we are here in Melbourne. Certainly at RMIT, we've gone through a journey of learning, understanding, listening and recognition of reconciliation over the past few years. And one of those things, mentions of that, is understanding our place in Indigenous land. And for me, someone who does a lot of food research outside of my automotive work, understand new dimensions related to seasons. For instance, at the moment, we're in the RMIT season of the Kulin Nations, which is actually the tadpole season, where new growth occurs. Traditionally, we'd be calling this spring, right? The RMIT season then moves into the grass flowering season, Barath Guru season. Okay, I'm now going to hand over to the president of the AHA, Dr. Norm Darwin, to give us a little introduction to the organisation and his thoughts. So Norm, over to you.
Thank you, Simon. It's with pleasure that I welcome you as participants to this online conference, and particularly perhaps a special welcome to Lewis, who's watching us from the USA. We do have at least a couple of international visitors. It's good to see one of them online. We're a young organisation formed in 2015 to promote understanding and enjoyment of automotive history through scholarly research, discussion and events. Unfortunately, activities have been curtailed for the past 18 months, but I'm heartened by the response by you all today. On a positive note, I'm pleased to report that the former GMH buildings at Fisherman's Bend, including the head office, parts building, social centre and a portion of Plant 3, have, after 2 years of deliberation, been added to the Victorian Heritage Register.
Woo! I think we all need to celebrate that.
Celebrate, yes, it's taken a while. To all new members who have joined us today, can I encourage you to contribute to our newsletter? Please tell us your interests, share your research, and above all, ask questions. I'd now like to hand over to Professor Harriet Edquist, who will give us the official conference welcome. Thank you, Harriet.
Welcome everyone, and welcome back the existing members of AHA, but also particularly welcome new members who have joined up for this conference, and we hope that you maintain your membership and enjoy belonging to AHA and share in the work we're doing. We set up this particular theme for this conference because over the last few years, we've been aware that a lot of groups in Australia, enthusiast groups, automotive clubs and so forth, were really custodians of very important collections, both vehicles and also paper collections, libraries and so forth, and that there was some anxiety about what was going to happen to these in the future, and particularly related to that in the museum sector, what was going to happen to our skill set and to the sorts of knowledges that we need to keep old, antique, getting more antique vehicles on the road, and also what we were going to do about this extraordinary wealth of information we have in club libraries and in private collections and also in institutional collections. So what we've done today is bring together a group of interested people from across the country to talk about the collections and archives that they're most familiar with, what the issues they see that are facing them in the future for their long-term future, and how our organisation, because we're a national organisation, how we can help to bring together a conversation across the nation about the future of these collections and archives, and what our organisation can do to participate and to really perhaps lead this discussion. So this is the program for today. I won't go through it all, but just to, as you can see, we have three papers, and then we have a break for morning tea, and then we have a couple of more papers, and we have a larger break for lunch, and then papers, afternoon tea, and then some more before we close. And we have a summary discussion at the end that tries to bring together the themes and ideas that have been brought have been discussed during the day. The idea is that each speaker has a 30-minute allotment. We thought that perhaps the papers, I mean, this is up to you, but the papers would go for, say, 15, 20 minutes, leaving space for discussion. Now, you'll be alerted, I think, Simon, that's right, to about the 18, 20-minute mark.
Correct.
That's
yes.
coming up, and at 30 minutes you'll be cut off because we have to keep time if you haven't finished your speech, your talk. So as you can see, looking at the program, we've got some great speakers here who represent really a terrific range of institutional, club and private collections. And so we do anticipate a really interesting day's discussion. Furthermore, they're all being recorded, and in due course they will be put up on the AHA website so that they are a record of today's activity and discussion, so you can always refer back to it in the future. And just for those new members, just to remind you that we have all of our conference, this is our 5th conference, we have all of our conference papers and recordings up on the website, so that you can have a look at what we've been spending our time doing since 2015 when we began. So at that point, I hand it on to who, Simon?
Correct. Thanks, Harriet. Very seamless segue there. Thank you. Just a few housekeeping points for everyone. You'll probably notice that you are on mute and your cameras are off. We'll be basically enabling presenters, cameras and microphones to go on when you're ready to present. We will be allowing people to ask questions after, as Harriet has suggested, in the 10 minutes or so after presentation. What we'll ask you to do, if you look in the top right of your team's screens, there is a little hand, little icon man's face with a hand. If you press the hand, that will put your hand up like I have just done. You'll see that my face has a little hand up there. We will nominate at the end of this speech who's to ask questions. We'll try and get through as many as we can in the allotted time, but just save those questions for the end, and we'll unmute you when you're ready to ask those questions, and we've nominated that it's your turn to ask. You can put your hand back down by lowering the hand on the same icon up the top. We are recording, as Harriet said, so we need to obviously make you aware of that. We're recording right now. If you'd like to be edited out at any point, please let us know via email. That is obviously your right, and we can edit you out if you so wish. Just a bit of online etiquette. Obviously we've got the mute and the cameras off. That's helping you really play the game anyway from an etiquette point of view. The hands up for questions is our route for this presentation. So I mean, it's a fairly light touch from our perspective on how we're we're dealing with etiquette because we're sort of controlling that in any case as well. Apart from that, really, I think the next stage is really just to get on with the show. And we, like Harriet said, from an AHA perspective, from Norm, the President, myself, Vice President, a hearty good welcome to you all. It's great that so many people could join and join both the organisation and also us today for this terrific event. And we really look forward to some amazing presentations and discussions over the course of the day.